Well, hello. Okay, so I just washed my hair, so you're gonna have to excuse my but this is my midnight appearance. So, welcome to Sunday Kind of Love. My midnight musings. I'm also gonna be catching some little drips as they come down. So, what are we talking about today? So today I wanted to muse about love and feeling good and what that means. I just think it's really interesting that, my whole exploration of love, and when I talk to people about love for themselves and others, it's always, really looking at the gap that may exist, for some of you may not, in these various areas that fall into our definition of love. And I gave you kind of my definition of love and something to think about for you. And first and foremost, because it's what people think about, is this intense feeling, right? And mostly good, and that's going to be important in a minute. And what we talked about also previously, which is just feeling really connected to someone or within, to yourself, right? And that's where the gap is. So one of the things that I always think about when I think about people that I love is this, not only the feeling I have, the connection that I have with them, but also the importance to me of how they feel and what makes them feel good and what makes them feel connected to me. And so what I encourage all of you to think about is how that comes back to yourself. So how do you think about what makes you feel good? How do you feel connected to your own feelings? So what do you know what brings you joy? Do you know what makes you feel empowered? Do you know what helps you find peace? And I don't mean that in an abstract sense. I mean, when rubber hits the road and you're not feeling as joyful as you might like, and maybe even sad, what are the things that you can access? What are the activities that you can do? What are the people that you can call on? Who are they that will bring you joy? And I'm going to shout out to my cousin, home team Brandon Lee, because he's one of my joy bringers. He always makes me laugh, and that is what you want to understand, to be aware of, and to be able to articulate, so that when those times are needed, you can spend more of your time in a joyful place because you know who those people are. You know what those things are. And what that requires is that just as you would with someone that you love, you observe. What is it that makes them feel good? What is it that brings them joy, that makes them feel peaceful? And you ask the same things of yourself. You observe, wow, when that happened, I really felt good. And you can even go so far as to note it down and observe over the next, we've got a week left in Heart and Love Month. So this is a perfect time to observe. When do you feel like you are connected in such a way that you are really showing yourself love? When are you feeling good? And what are the things that you have control over? So this is part of this sort of examining the gap between, your love for other people and how you bring love, and they may bring love into your life, But then also, what are the things that you have control over that you can use to increase the amount of time that you are spending in a joyful, in a peaceful, in a powerful place? And that's where we start thinking about self-care, not as this abstract concept, but as something that is about us finding this connection to what brings us joy, that allows us to find joy in our lives more often. And that's what self-care is about. And that's why when I talk about embodied love, I talk about going beyond self-care. Because you can't just do something, you have to know its effects on you and really find those things that you feel very, very deeply. So that's just a little of my musings on what it means to connect, this whole concept of love and feeling good. And I hope that you have a little something to notice and to be grateful for as you go through the rest of this week in Heart and Love Month. And just observe when you feel good. And remember that you have the power to return to that feeling by noticing, by being aware of, and by really just accessing the things that you have the self-awareness and have observed make you feel good, and in other words, make you feel loved. So thank you for joining me for my Midnight Musings. And if you have anything to share, please do so. And if I can help in any way, please let me know. So I'm Tanya Leek, and this was a Sunday Kind of Love, episode 5, about love and feeling good. Good night.